Hey, this is Daniel Posney, and this is Shifting Perspectives. So, the topic today is about how we sabotage our spiritual awakenings. And if we just realize what spiritual awakenings are, think of them as little epiphanies that you get. So, we think of it sometimes as this big explosion. I had this spiritual awakening, but we have these things all the time. And I find that this particular thing it's kind of a little secret to the back door, secret to not being sabotaged when you have some kind of awakening or some kind of new thought, a new realization. So if you realize that what usually happens to you is that you have some kind of a realization, whether it's a dream or a journey or epiphany or a medicine or whatever the thing is, and you get to this higher realization, and then your mind comes in. So I've talked about this before many times, and I talk to people when I'm in session with them that we'll be talking, and there's this clarity that comes to me about what the pattern is, what the energy is, and how they've been playing this sort of role, this character in their life. And here's the solution, and here's what it looks like, and here's your higher version. And it's all very clear. And we get to this high place, and then I hear, I know, but it's going to be a lot of work for me. And this is like the normal thing that normal counseling therapy plays out, but I'm not your normal guy. I'm kind of radical that way. So what I tend to go to is your mind, your egoic mind, the story wants me to say, oh no, it's okay. It's not going to be a lot of work. You're strong. You can do it. And, it took me a long time, but it's not going to take you a long time. You go back into the story, go back into the negotiating kind of thing. But what if we said, wait a minute, what just happened? What just happened? Everything was cool, everything was high, and then your mind took over and gave you a thought to take action on. That's the key right there. That's like half, if not most of the battle right there. When you realize what has been happening every single time in the past, when you kind of catch it in the act, it's like when when something is stealing food from your kitchen, and then you catch that little critter in the act. It's like you're the you're the one. And the same thing happens when you catch yourself in the act of believing that you need to accept and believe the thought that your mind is giving you and take action on it. So imagine that in the moment that you get this realization, everything's beautiful, and you just said yes, yes, and you just kind of blocked out, you put up a barrier between any other thoughts that are other than just saying yes to the high vibration, yes to this new realization, yes to pure love, yes to authenticity. And your mind tried to get in there, and you said, you shall not pass. And you just allowed this new feeling to say yes to. You say, oh, this feels great. Yes, I want more of this. But we allow ourselves to go back into the whole thing. Like it's almost like we want this old way. We want this old story. And it's like, why would you ever say no to this? Why would you ever let any other thought get in the way of that? But we do. We think that it's not available to us. And actually, to be more honest than that, that this old way of suffering is actually something that we know how to deal with. We just tell the story, and it's our life, and this is who we are. And this other place is this unknown. And what if it's not? What if it doesn't work for us? But we've never gotten or allowed ourselves to get to that place of just completely accepting and embracing this new feeling, not just understanding the concept, but here I'm feeling this upliftment. I'm feeling this higher vibration. What if I just completely said, just shut up and just said yes to yourself? Because then the mind goes, oh, I cannot go back. I can't go back this way. But if you open up that door and you allow that thought to come in, and you're just speaking what your thought says to you, you're at its mercy again. You're its slave. So there needs to be this kind of, at least for me, there need to be like this determination. And still I practice this determination. Here's the thought: is it awesome or not? If it's based out of love, okay. If it's based out of fear, I got to check it because it's coming from my mind. In fact, I say anything that's coming from my mind is probably 99% sure is probably based on some kind of fear or some kind of limitation. So here it is. You're in this memory. You're in this place. You're at church. You're in a meditation. You're listening to music, or you're out on the land, and something is happening to you, and you're feeling it. Just put your hands out. Put your hands on your heart, and just say, "All right. No matter, even though I have thoughts, I'm just going to say yes to this." And that's all. You don't need to fight for it. You don't need to do battle with your mind. Just, nope, I'm saying yes to this. And that's kind of the secret to it. That's the one that comes up most often is when we get to this high place is that you'll see it, you'll hear it from someone will say, I know Daniel, but, or it's going to take me a long time, or I don't really understand how that can, it's the mind is like this, it wants to do battle again. It wants to understand more so it can argue more, but you don't have to. You don't have to argue. You don't have to go to battle with your mind. You can just say, I want more of that. And that's it. Thank you. Bless you. I hope this helps.